Hey everyone, my name is Eli, and I am a living kidney donor. And this is my living donor story. I have always been a supporter of organ donation, but that became really real to me in June of 2021. I saw this post, was out running errands, just kind of passed it for a moment. About 5 minutes after that, I get a text message from my wife, and it was this screenshot of this post that I had seen just a few minutes ago. It was a military family, and they were looking for a organ donor for a kidney for their dad. I later found out that the gentleman in question was a single father of 6, and he had raised 3 of his daughters to serve in the military, an airman, a Marine, and a soldier. Also a very proud military supporter. I am proud of my country, proud of what we stand for, and for our freedoms, and I honor and respect anyone who has served. I myself was not able to serve, but when I saw this post, I felt that this was an opportunity for me to support the men and women, in this case the women that were fighting for my rights and fighting for our country. I felt this was a small gift that I could give to them so that they didn't have to worry about their dad. They are out there daily sacrificing and giving for our country. I have 2 kidneys, as do you, and I only need 15% of one kidney before I go into kidney failure. With a self-conscious diet and a conscious lifestyle, there is no reason why living with one kidney is a hindrance or a danger, unless you have a history of kidney disease, which is one thing they screen very, very thoroughly through in the process. Kind of getting back to the story, so I responded to the daughter. I said, hey, my name's Eli. I am an O positive, and I would like to donate to your father. Little did I know what the power that those few words, that those meant to the family and meant to the world. It also means the world to somebody who is never going to know that it means something to them, because by donating, being a living donor to Mike, I took his name off the wait list and someone else moved up. So this means more to a second family who I will never meet and will never know. But the ripple effect that you're starting to see here, that spread from my simple donation to the community, to the family, and in retrospect and in one way to the country, because he has 3 daughters serving in our military, and now they can give more effort to serving our great country and not worrying about their dad. Yes, I wasn't always so excited about this. I was nervous, as anyone probably is before the surgery. I had met with the entire team. They do an exhaustive testing, and we had to push the surgery date back a little bit because of the a work conflict. And 10 days before Christmas, I had an appointment. We said possibly around sometime in January. 10 days before Christmas, I go up. I have my meeting. They're like, well, we have an organ team coming in on January 6th. Is that too soon, or we can push it off? I said, no, this family has waited long enough. Let's do it. On the way home, I got a message from the daughter saying, hey, how'd the doctor's appointment go? And I messaged back, I'm like, it went good. I have a date. She is deployed currently, or stationed, I should say, in South or North Carolina, or maybe it's the Dakotas, I don't even know. And she's like, really, that's awesome. She says, do you mind telling me so I can schedule the flight back home? She said, and get off of work and whatever. She said, I'll let the hospital, the organization, the transplant team tell Dad. So I messaged her back the date, and I kind of expected like a thumbs up or a smiley face or just something, I didn't get anything for about 5-10 minutes. Then I got a message, and it was a text message through Messenger, but I could just feel the emotion in that text. She said, I have only seen my dad cry twice. Once when I told him you were willing to donate, and just now when the hospital called and told him we have a date. I later found some posts on social media that other family members had posted about that day and how much it meant to them to see someone stand up for their dad and to, to do this for them. This is the dad that took them fishing. This is the dad that was there for their graduation and was facing the real possibility of not being able to be there for some of their weddings or to see their children and his grandchildren. One of the first words Mike said to me when we met after the operation was, now I get to go to my daughter's weddings. I don't think there's any of us that would not wish that on any father out there, and to give that gift. As of the whole procedure is basically straightforward, lots of lab work prior to it, a full exhaustive screening mentally, physically, emotionally, psychologically. They check all the boxes, and as one of my favorite doctors in the universe now, Dr. Sammy, said to me, he's like, listen, I know you want to donate, we want you to donate this kidney, but what's most important and why we're here today is to make sure you're healthy and this is the right decision for you. To have him on my side was really comforting. The next big moment for me was the day of my surgery. Well, there's lots of big moments or little moments in there, but the big relief for me came just prior to my surgery. I had not met with the surgeon, and I was a little skeptical about this, a little nervous about it, and there were some weather issues, so he was delayed. He was driving from Pittsburgh. My transplant was done at UPMC Hammett. Shout out to them. It was awesome to have such a renowned transplant unit in my backyard. He was traveling up. He got a little delayed because of the weather. And I'm full on nervousness, jitters, and all of a sudden I don't know how to say it, this person walked into the door. And his personality was like twice his size. He was just such a amazing person, and it was my surgeon, Dr. Tivar. I just can't say enough about Tivar. He walks to the door, and one of the nurses scurry over and says, "This is the donor. I thought you wanted to see the recipient first." And he's like, oh no, I've waited long enough for this. I want to meet the donor. And he came in with this ginormous smile on his face and his eyes just sparkling. And he came over and he gave my hand one of the tightest squeezes and handshakes. And he says, "You have no idea the impact that you are making today and what this means not only to the family, but to me, the surgeon." This is somebody who has done way more exhaustive schooling than I probably ever can imagine or dream of. And yet he is looking at me dead in the eye and saying, "I respect you, and you have no idea how much this means." Just a shout out to the nursing staff there at UPMC Hammett. Did not remember his name. One of the nurses, the anesthesiologist nurses, he came in and he shook my hand and he said, "This is amazing what you're doing, and I want you to know that I will be by your side through the whole operation, and I am not leaving until you wake up." To know that my wife could not be in the room with me, but yet this man had just promised to be there and to basically stand by my side and be my advocate. That meant a lot. And when I woke up and I'm a little groggy from the meds, he's standing there right beside me to calm me down and assure me that everything was okay. About 5 days after the surgery, I got to meet Mike and his family for the first time. And there were several reporters and a bunch of hospital staff just to see the outpouring of support and how it had moved our community. News coverage is ongoing, and many opportunities have arisen for me to stand up and be an advocate. One of them is I am now a volunteer with CORE, which stands for Center for Organ Recovery and Education, a very great organization, a chapter of Donate Life, which I'm sure everybody is familiar with. Basically, CORE is an organization that handles the transplant and organ recovery. If somebody is an organ donor and their organs become available, the hospital does not dictate who that goes to. After the hospital has done absolutely everything they can to sustain life and to give that individual, that donor, a second chance at life, CORE is contacted and they begin the procedure of placing those very valuable and life-saving gifts that you can give. If you have not done it yet, please become an organ donor. It is a very easy to do. Register at your DMV. There's many websites that will let you do it online. You can do it from the health app of your iPhone. Please become an organ donor today. And if you want to do more, please reach out to me through this comment section, through my websites. And if you want to become a living donor, you won't regret it. You won't regret the change that you made in society, in other people's life. I personally recommend UPMC Hammett and Dr. Tivar and Dr. Sammy. They are an amazing team. So let's use them to our full advantage. And let's check some more names off that list. There are currently 105,000 people on the National Transplant list. 85% of those are waiting for a kidney.